Hi everyone, my name is Sarah. I am a registered nurse working in the intensive care unit at one of our hospitals here in Hamilton. I've been a nurse for about 3.5 years and work in ICU about the last 2.5. So this past year I think has been tougher than I could really put into words. It has been tough on everyone in their own ways. I can only speak from my perspectives. Starting out at the beginning of COVID, I was very anxious and scared for what was to come. We made it through the first 2 waves and we felt, I would say, a large burden and fear of bringing COVID home to our families and our loved ones. And that I think played a big toll on my mood and my emotions more than I realized at the time. Flash forward to January this year, I was able to get vaccinated as well as the rest of my unit. That brought kind of a small exhale, a sense of relief, saying maybe we'll get through this isn't forever. And then now we are in the thick of wave 3. It's escalated to a magnitude beyond our biggest fears, honestly. And although we have faith in our vaccines and our personal protective equipment, physically, emotionally, mentally, we have been stretched to our limits. We went from 1 intensive care unit to now having 3. We have staff coming from all tiers of the hospital to provide help in any way they can, which we are so appreciative for. But at the end of the day, we have so many COVID patients that are beyond sick, and we're just running out of critically care trained staff to care for them. And that's upsetting as we don't feel like we're providing high quality and most importantly, safe care to the patients we have. Some of the more difficult or most difficult parts of our job, I would say as an ICU nurse, we typically have 1 to 2 patients in a normal time. So we're used to spending 12 hours in a row with that patient. Beyond the medication and the procedures and those nursing skills, we are very compassionate people and we want to be there and provide our time and our care and our sympathy, empathy to these people and their families. That is a huge part of our job. Having COVID positive patients, we are instructed to limit our time in the room for our safety, which although that makes sense, it's very upsetting to feel like you're not giving it your all at your job. And then kind of clumping our care together so that when we go in the room, we're in there for as short a period of time as possible, but also conserving personal protective equipment, Adding on to that, as an intensive care nurse, I am used to being involved with end-of-life care, whether that is extremely unexpected and sudden or is a palliative care approach and plan that's been put into place to help ease that transition for someone's end of life. Not being able to have patients, loved ones, family, friends, support system, whomever they have in their life, not being able to have them in the room present, it amplifies the emotional stress, I would say, and it puts a very high strain on us to support our patients and be there for them because that's all we want. We don't ever want someone to die alone. So I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make sure that in somebody's end of life, we are there, we're holding their hand. We can have their visitors, which is also limited outside the door. So you're trying to be there for that person when their loved ones can't be, which can be very challenging. We often hold the speaker up so that their loved ones can speak to them. We try to put on music that may be comforting to them in their final minutes. Whether they're aware or not, we know that they feel our presence, and I think that's been very tough. It's tough to go through. It's tough to watch the patients and their loved ones go through, and it's really tough to kind of leave that at the door when we leave work. So that's been really tough. As well, watching coworkers really struggle with stress, with mental health, with coping. We're really not used to seeing that on this large of a scale. So it's tough to try and support yourself, support your patients and be present, as well as support your coworkers and even your friends and family at home who are also struggling and also need your help. So it's really tough, honestly. That's all I can say. Moving on to some positives that have come out of this, I think I personally have gained a huge perspective on the power and the strength of the support system I have. My home, my fiance, my family, my friends, my coworkers, I've realized how much I lean on them. I think another huge positive is seeing our coworkers and all frontline staff come together as such a strong unit, even when there's days or shifts that begin and you think there's no way we're getting through this. We do, and we do it as a team, and we will be stronger for it, even if it's tough to see that right now. Stay home, stay safe, do your research in regards to getting vaccinated, so that you can make your own informed decision. Find credible sources, ask the questions, get the information to protect yourself as well as those around you. And then for everyone, just find small pieces of your day or activities that bring you some sense of joy. It's so important. I think we've all learned that in the last year. And as a society, again, stay home, stay safe, check in on those around you, do your best. That's all you can do. And again, one day at a time. I know we're kind of getting sick of hearing that, but it's all we can do to get through this. And then, yes, that's kind of all I have to wrap it up quickly. Thank you for your thoughts, your prayers, for listening to my story today and my short little tidbit of my experience. I hope everyone stays safe, and we will get through this somehow, some way. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Take care, everyone.